When you think about summer soups, gazpacho usually comes to mind, but today we're going to try something a little different that's sure to cool you off when the temperature rises. Mary Kravik is the director of the Silo Cooking School at Hunt Hill Farm in New Milford and is back with us today. Nice to have you here again.
Wonderful to be back.
So, let's talk about the summer camps up at the school. There's still room for campers, correct?
Definitely there is. We have camps for ages 5 to 10, and it's sort of a farm fresh food kind of camp taught by Nancy. And then the camp that I teach is ages 9 to 12. It's an international culinary and art camp, so we're doing Indian food, Thai food, Jamaican food, a nice mixture. And then the third camp is Sundays in August for the teens.
I love that idea. I'm sure the campers really get a kick out of that.
They definitely do.
Now let's talk about, there's actually a cultural center on the farm.
Yes, it's a cultural center. We do lectures, we do concerts, we have 2 art galleries, we have a retail store with cooking and home goods. We have a vegetable garden, an herb garden, museums. Skitch Henderson, the famous conductor, we have his museum there because it was his former home.
Oh, how interesting.
So come on down, and there's lots going on.
All right, and what are we making here today?
We are making a chilled Thai carrot soup.
All right, well, let's get going. How do we start?
Okay, well, we have some interesting ingredients. I'm just going to show you very quickly.
Sure.
It's essentially made up of onion, garlic, peeled, grated fresh ginger, and the easiest way to grate your ginger is to get one of these little microplanes.
That looks handy.
And essentially you just go just like this.
Like a cheese grater almost.
Yep.
Could you do it on a cheese grater?
You could do it on. This works better. See how it comes out nice and smooth, and it takes the little hairs out of it. So we sauteed that. The onion, garlics, ginger. We have lemongrass, which
See, I didn't know what this was when I saw it.
Definitely. If you bend it a little bit, you smell the lemon.
Oh my gosh, it's very citrusy.
Right, so you can use it in your curries or your soups in 2 ways. You can either slice it very, very thin.
Where would you find that, Mary?
You can find it in the supermarket, and of course any Asian
What
store
do I
would
know?
have it. And it releases most of its flavor when it's cooked for a long time.
Okay.
And you can either slice it small, or you can just take it, bash it up with the back of your knife, and just throw it in and take it out later on.
Great, okay.
But I like to chop it up and put it in there. So we have that. We're going to add a little bit of cardamom, some ground cardamom. I'm just going to show you really quick. There are 2 types of cardamom. There's a dark one, which is more medicinal, and then the one that you usually see with food is the little green one. And they take the seeds and they grind them up, and we put them in. And you can
what does it smell like?
that.
Oh, it has a distinct scent to it.
It's great in banana bread. It's delicious.
Good tip.
So I'm going to bring you over here.
Okay.
And so
I'm a great helper here, Mary.
She is. So I'm going to give her the immersion blender, which is kind of scary.
This looks like something to make milkshakes with. Can you do that?
You can do that, or soups. And essentially, once we boil the carrots and all the vegetables and a little bit of stock in there.
Now, did you have to puree all this together first?
Then we puree it with that. This is easier to use than a blender, because sometimes the blender, it pops out the top, and if you use the Cuisinart, it pops out the bottom. So this is the perfect thing.
So you use fresh carrots for this?
We use fresh carrots, about 2 pounds, and some veggie stock.
All right, I'm going to do this.
Have you, look out, I'm going to stand over here. Just don't lift it up. Right.
It's okay. It's all under control. So what else has to go in here?
Then we're going to add the cocoa milk, and if you see,
it's a little chunky. Why is it chunky?
This is the milk on the bottom, and then the cocoa cream comes to the top, just like in regular milk. Oh. And this is very healthy, and we're going to add that in there.
And it tastes just like a coconut?
Coconut.
All right, so I'm going to mix this again. Could you use that in a pina colada?
Of course. Definitely. Add a little lime zest in there.
Okay.
Fantastic. And that's it. You're good.
It's done?
It's done. So you can make this a day or two ahead of time. The longer it sits, the more the flavors meld into it.
Oh, great.
So we're going to serve that with, I sauteed up some shrimp with a little bit of the lemongrass and the ginger and scallions and onion. So it's kind of cool to have the cold and then a little bit of hot on top.
Now, how would you serve this? Would it be like an appetizer? Would you do it more for lunch?
It can be either. As an appetizer, it's kind of pretty to put it in a martini glass.
Oh, I do love that.
Or in shot glasses, and everybody can just sort of take a little
like on a tray, like
swig. Yeah.
Past hors d'oeuvres.
And then for lunch, you can just sort of put it in a bowl like we're going to do.
Okay.
And put a little lime on top, a little lime juice. The easy way to get the juice out of a lime with just a fork. So even if I put it in here, don't let me spray you here.
That's okay.
And it's just an easier way to do it if you don't have a lemon reamer, or you just put it like this.
Fantastic. All right, Mary, can you stay till the end of the show? Because I know Jocelyn's going to want to give this a taste.
I certainly can. I'd be happy to.
All right, fantastic. Okay. Coming up.